The Orlando Magic's 3-game winning streak has come to an end with last night's loss to the Dallas Mavericks. They lost 101-92, pretty much gave this game away in the third quarter. They played some good basketball, but it just wasn't enough. The Dallas Mavericks, in my opinion, did not take this game away from the Magic, but we're going to get into exactly what happened. And Cole Anthony remains out as well. He did not play last night, and he is doubtful for the Kings game tomorrow. There's definitely something interesting going on with his left big toe strain is what they're calling it. We're going to talk about the injury, the Mavs game last night, and a couple other things after the fact, after that loss against the Mavericks that I think Jamahl Mosley touched on in the post-game press conference. But first, guys, as you know, this is Magic Digest, one-stop shop for Orlando Magic basketball content here on YouTube. I'm your host, Patrick Previty. Make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs ASAP, and your guys' support means the world to me. We're trying to build an Orlando Magic basketball community here on YouTube, and I think we're pretty much in a good spot, and we've just about done that. If we get to 1,000, I think it would kind of be official. Let's take a look at the box score really quick. Paolo Banchero has just been on an absolute tear. I think this is going to last through the last 9 or 10 games of the season that are left. 35 points, 10 boards, 4 assists. He shot pretty well. Did not shoot well from 3, but the entire team didn't. 5 for 30. It was more of the same in regards to that for this Orlando Magic basketball team. Franz Wagner was a little off in this game. There were some stretches where he was kind of back, but otherwise he did not shoot well. He did not play well. He had 20 points on 21 shots. That's just not going to be enough, but there's no stopping him from taking those shots because when we take a look at the bench production, more of the same that we've seen as of late. Jonathan Isaac, 6 minutes. Tristan Silva, 6 minutes. So they combined for 2 total points. Bataze got more run in this game, but it was mainly just Anthony Black and nobody else. Gary Harris looked like he was getting some cardio out there. Caleb Houston got a chance but wasn't as aggressive. And like I said, it was Anthony Black, 14 points, 5 of 10 shooting. But it was him and Corey Joseph. Right now, Anthony Black looks to be getting more minutes than Corey Joseph, even though Corey Joseph is drawing the starts. I think that Anthony Black at this point should be the starter, but trusting Jamahl Mosley with that, and I believe this team is rallying a little bit around Corey Joseph. But we're going to get into the guard play a little bit later. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope didn't really play all that well. Let's take a look at what happened with the Mavericks. The Mavericks, Anthony Davis had a bit of an off night, so it was definitely a shame that we weren't able to take advantage of his rough night from the floor. He shot 5 of 19, and we weren't able to make that a win, but it was their bench production that really helped them. Jaden Hardy, Max Christie from the Lakers, and Brandon Williams, 22, 12, and 14 for them. Bench points were huge. Obviously, they shot 50% from 3. Also, they had some points off of turnovers in this game that I definitely think is something to note because that was a point of emphasis for this team, probably going back all the way to December. The Mavericks were able to take advantage of that. They had 22 points off of 17 turnovers in this game against the Orlando Magic. That really helped them a lot. This Magic team doesn't really have very many holes on defense except for their get back defense, or rather when the team is either starting a break or they got a possession off of a turnover. This team has a lot of trouble defending that, and I think that just goes to show you at a certain point the dam is going to break. There's just going to be too much flooding, and I think that's part of it. When the offense isn't rolling and this defense has to then account for the turnovers, then I think that's too much for this defense. And it looks like Jamahl Mosley's trying out a lot of different things, especially with this rotation leading into the playoffs, and I think at some points this team just tries to figure it out, and maybe sometimes they're too small, maybe sometimes they're not fast enough, and you'll get stuff like that, some other things like that. But otherwise, this team lost the assist battle. That was also a big issue for this team. Lost the Mavericks just got a ton of steals in this game as well, so they lost the turnover battle. The Mavericks had 15, the Magic had 17. As far as rebounds are concerned, the Magic did out-rebound them and get 5 more offensive rebounds, but the turnovers kind of offset that, like I mentioned earlier. Okay, so Jamahl Mosley did make some comments in the post-game. First, actually, we're going to talk about what he said about Franz, because he did say a little bit about his poor play and how it seems to some that he may have hit a wall. No, I think one game, you're not judging it far on that much. They didn't go in tonight, and I think we have to look at that. And this was in response to, hey, he's not making shots. Is this because he's hitting a wall, or is this something that you look at a game-by-game basis? He's pretty much saying here, game-by-game basis. Sorry if that was a tad bit confusing, but he also mentioned that it's just timing and rotational decisions when he's deciding whether or not Tristan Da Silva or Jonathan Isaac are going to get some play. He was specifically asked about Jonathan Isaac in the post game, and he pretty much was just like, hey, look, I'm just trying out different stuff, timing, teams that we play. It just seems like Jonathan Isaac is getting phased out right now. I think he'll be back, especially come the playoffs when we need a defensive anchor and the whistles kind of get swallowed a little bit, and this team might be looking for a little bit of extra help defensively if they can't get enough offensively, right? Just lean into our strengths if need be, if that's the case going forward. Okay, so as I mentioned at the very top of this video, Cole Anthony is doubtful for tomorrow's game against the Kings. Still dealing with that left big toe strain. He did come back a handful of games ago, gave it a go against the Cavaliers, but just clearly wasn't himself. That was the big Anthony Black breakout game where I made a video talking about how important he is on this team, and he has actually been he's been playing pretty well as of late, and he's been very important. Corey Joseph as well. Gary Harris kind of getting phased out, but I'm saying, hey, look, with Cole Anthony out and Jalen Suggs out, it's Anthony Black. But this is getting to a point where it is starting to be a bit of a concern, and it does remind me a little bit of what happened with Jalen Suggs. I don't know exactly if this means that he's going to be out for the season. I'm not going to speculate that. But as you guys can see reported, that he's not going to play tomorrow against the Kings. He's missed 7 of the last 8 games. Pretty much you can chalk that up to missing 8 of the last 8 games because he barely played in that Cavs game. So for some reason, this is keeping him out. I don't know if there's like maybe a small tear, something going on maybe with his foot. He's also rehabbing that wrist injury that he was dealing with. So that could be a part of it as well. Maybe they're waiting for that to also kind of speed up on top of the left big toe strain. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's obviously super, super unfortunate. Cole Anthony posted this just the other day on March 26th, today's 28th, that he's thinking he's going to be back. And obviously reported, again, missed 6 of the last 7 games because of that left big toe strain. So everybody's thinking back as soon as Cole Anthony. I thought it was very weird, not only that he didn't play the following day against the Mavericks, which was just yesterday, and he's also probably not going to play against the Kings tomorrow, that he would even say this. So maybe there was some sort of setback, or maybe he's looking a little bit further down the line. Maybe he's looking for a specific time to come back. I haven't looked too much into exactly what would be the smartest time for him to return, but I do know that this team right now is sitting at 35-39, and they don't even look like they can win the play-ins just if they continue to play and they continue to shoot like they did in this past game. Now, there are some real issues. I don't really know. I've been chalking it up to the play-ins to games that we can win, but I'm not really 100% confident that we could go 1-0. If we needed to, or even 2-0 if we needed to. I think 1-1 might be the best case scenario for this team. I don't know for sure, but that'll all come. We'll get answers. We'll get answers regardless if we want them or not for this team. Cole Anthony's obviously a super big part of it. Tomorrow, this team goes to play the Kings. Nobody else is listed on the injury report, I believe, as of no. We can take another look at that really quick. And this team really does need to get a win against this Kings team, who is at a way different spot. Obviously, Mac McClung and Jalen Suggs, kind of usual suspects too on that injury report. So nobody else outside of Cole Anthony. He's going to be missing tomorrow's game, at least as far as we know. So if this team can get a win against the Kings, I think that kind of puts us back in. 4 of the last 5 games are wins. That's a very positive spot, puts us right on the back on track. And then, we don't have to think too much about this game. A lot of different stuff going around with this team. So obviously we were hoping that they can finish strong and they can potentially, not have to play with their food in the play-in games. But like I said, we're going to get answers regardless. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know what you guys think down below about Cole Anthony's absence. Is it a little weird to you, or are you still kind of okay with him missing some of this time while he gets his body right? Obviously, want him to get healthy, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. As always, I'll see you guys next time with more Orlando Magic basketball content.